Okay, this week we're playing for the SEC West championship on our home field against the #1 team in the country. And I think it's a well-deserving rank. When you look at them on offense, they're extremely talented. I believe they're the #7 scoring offense in the country. And you look at them out on defense, they're very talented also. They're the #1 scoring defense in the country. Defensively, a lot of very talented players. It looks to me like they pressure a little bit more than they have in the past, and I think their defensive coordinator is kind of putting his stamp on the defense a little bit more than he has in the past, and they're very aggressive. They got an outstanding punter, probably the best punter in college football. I mean, he can really flip the field, got a great leg. I've been playing a long time. The good thing for us is we're playing at home. We do have experience playing a #1 team 2 weeks ago when we played our best game, and we're going to have to do that again. And our crowd was unbelievable last time we did this, and I expect it to be the same. Our guys are looking forward to this game. They've worked extremely hard to get to this point. 4 or 5 weeks ago, there's not a whole lot of people I don't think would have thought we'd been in this position, and that's a tribute to our players and our staff of sticking together. Our goal is to win the SEC championship. We made that clear from day one, and this is a huge game and something we're looking forward to. Questions?
Coach, you just kind of mentioned it again. There were a lot of people not expecting where you guys are right now. How much of a shift is this team playing with right now?
Yeah, I think any time that you go through a major adversity, it either makes you weaker or stronger, and we're a stronger team today than we were 5 weeks ago. And our guys played their best game 2 weeks ago when the pressure was the highest. And so the good thing for us, we have experience with that. Now this is a different team, okay, and they're very talented. They're used to winning. They won a lot, and so this is a big challenge for us. But I really like where our team's at. I like our mindset. I like our coaching staff and where they're at, and so I like where we're at.
You kind of joked on Tiger Talk last night about how you guys have been in a playoff already.
Yeah.
It felt that way for a little while. How many games back? Does it go all the way back to LSU?
Yeah, I think it goes back to LSU. I mean, since LSU's, we've been in the playoffs, and having to win every game. We've had that mindset, and with that, there becomes a lot of pressure, but it's healthy pressure, especially when you're able to do it, to do what you say. And we after that LSU game, we stood in this room, and we said we got to win 5 in a row, and we took it one game at a time, and we won 4, and number 5 is next Saturday. And like I said, we're going to have to play very good, and our team knows that, and so like I said, we're looking forward to it.
Any injury update on some of the guys that got banged up in that ULM game?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, I'd say everybody's got a good chance of playing. There's 2 or 3 that are possibilities. Once it gets to probably Thursday, I'll have a better idea. But Trey Williams, we'll see where he's at, and we'll see where Jeremiah Denson's at, later in the week. But I expect everybody else to be ready.
What about Cameron Petway?
Yeah, Cameron Petway will be out.
Jeremiah, a concussion or a neck injury?
Yeah, it was a concussion.
Gus, this game is big enough, obviously, in and of itself. But when you've got something to play for too, like an SEC West, trip to Atlanta,
Yeah.
does it change the dynamic of the game, or it's just big?
Well, I mean, I think you got the Iron Bowl. It's big, and you add the Iron Bowl with the possibility of a SEC West championship. It feels like 2013. It feels exactly the same way, and it's a big game, and it means more. And so it feels the same way.
What do you say to quarterbacks specifically about when they're preparing for their first Iron Bowl? You're doing it with Jared, you've done it with Jeremy, with Nick Marshall, with Cam, with multiple quarterbacks. What do you say to them heading into this game for the first time?
Well, I mean, first of all, you have to be prepared, and there's nothing like experience. Whether it was my first time to be a coordinator in the Iron Bowl or any other position, you got to experience it. And Jarrett's in a good spot. I mean, he knows what it's about. He knows how big a game and what's on the line and all that. I will say this: I'm glad that we have our starting quarterback healthy for this game. We hadn't been able to do that the last 2 years, and so that's a good feeling.
Can you talk about the importance of the battles on the offensive and defensive line?
You know, a big game, really it's going to come down to that. I mean, it'll come down to up front, offensive line, defensive line. At the end of the day, you know, that's what it'll come down to. Who controls the line of scrimmage. And the bigger the game, the more important that is. And obviously, this is as big as it gets.
What do you think about Minka Fitzpatrick? He does play a lot of different roles in there.
I think he's one of the best or the most talented players in all of football. He's got an ability to do just about everything you would want. He's got experience. He's very savvy. He can rush a passer. He comes off the edge. He plays the run. He dissects route combinations. He's a dominant player, and you know, he's well earned that right to be, you know, talked about in the best players in the country.
Other than obviously durability and staying on the field, how have you seen Carry On sort of grow this season?
You know, Carry On, when we recruited him, we felt like he had a chance to be a real special player. He played a lot as a true freshman and really made some big plays for us. Last year kind of battled some injuries, and like I said, I think everybody forgets the very first game he's running for a touchdown and he pulls a hamstring so bad he had to go down, which usually that's real severe, and I think he was out for 2 or 3 weeks, and he had to manage his hamstring the first couple games in SEC play, and he did that great. And now he's healthy. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He is getting stronger as the game goes on. He's wanting the football, and you know, he's playing at a high level.
Tell me a little bit about Tucker Brown, a guy that's been playing 20, 25 snaps
Yeah.
a game.
Yeah, Tucker's really coming on for us. You know, from the tight end position, he's one of our better special teams players too. He's on the shield with the communication and everything that goes with that, and he's playing with a lot of confidence now. And you know, he's a big guy, and he's a smart guy, and he's doing a really good job for us.
On the defensive front, it looks like Dontavius Russell and Derek Brown are continuing to get better.
Yeah, of course, Dontavius, you know, I think, you know, for the last 2 years, he's been Mr. Consistency. I mean, he's really played well over a long period of time, and Derek, you know, is flipping the switch. I mean, he's playing his best ball right now, and just really playing in the offense's backfield, using his hands better, coming off and making plays. And, you know, obviously when you're real stout in the middle, it helps everything else, and those two guys have really set a good tone for us.
Because it's always important to play from ahead, play with the lead in any game, but you were able to do it against Georgia for a huge portion of that game. That was tremendous. Alabama's only been down for 29 snaps this season. How important is putting them in an unfamiliar position in this game?
You know, I think it's important to, you know, try to put them in an unfamiliar position in a lot of areas. I mean, obviously, if you can get the lead, you just said it, 29 snaps. I mean, that's a phenomenal stat. And you know, every year they're gonna be in that kind of atmosphere, and you got to play your best game. And like I said, the good thing for us is we do have experience in this situation. Matter of fact, recently, and they're a different team than that other team, but still we have experience, and I think that's a good thing.
There's a matchup in the Iron Bowl about, you know, coordinator versus coordinator, Chip versus Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah.
Guys that have made their way up to the high school ranks. Do you find a special connection with that with your background?
Well, I mean, I think the two guys you just said were high school coaches, and I think they actually coached together. And you know, Jeremy does a very good job. You know, like I said, it looks more like his defense than last year. You know, we played him in the national championship game, and you know, it was a blitz fest. And he's a lot more aggressive this year. They're blitzing a lot more, and so you got to make them pay. You know, when they blitz, and if you don't, they'll keep doing it. And they're pretty good at it. But he's an aggressive mindset guy and does a good job. And then you look at Chip, and Chip has done an unbelievable job. You know, we talked about our balance, and he's got us as balanced I think we've ever been. You look at SEC games and how many times we scored 40 points. I think this is the best scoring we've done since I've been 8 years at Auburn. as far as scoring in SEC games. And, you know, we've had two offenses that were two of the top 4 offenses in the history of our league. So the job that Chip's doing is outstanding. Both those coaches are very good coaches.
Coach, does having Kevin still on the staff, having coached under Nick Saban before, does that add any sort of benefit or extra dimension to your preparedness?
You know, I think anytime experience with someone or whatever, I think it always can help in certain areas. You know, and Kevin has experience. Greg Brown obviously has experience coaching, you know, over there too. So you try to use all that you can, you know, to help prepare. But every year's different, okay? Every year's different, and coaches have a way of kind of knowing when somebody was with them and what they did and what they said, and, you know, try to use that against them.
Without giving away too much, just the preparation, even in the offseason for this game, when you're preparing for an unknown offensive coordinator, did you or members of the staff look back at the Patriots film to see anything from day to day?
Yeah, I mean, you do your homework in all areas. You know, when a new coordinator comes in the league, as far as their background, their tendencies, you know, what they like to do. But then, you know, each coordinator usually adjusts to their personnel. And, you know, right now they offensively personnel, they're very strong. Their quarterback, I'm very impressed with him. You know, he can make bad plays really good plays. I don't think there's very many quarterbacks around the country that can turn bad plays into good plays like him. And I don't know if you can call a bad play with him at quarterback.
Coach, if Jeremiah Dixon can't go, would you play Javaris Davis at nickel?
It's possible. You know, you know, Kevin will have the same kind of rotation he has, you know, the last 3 or 4 weeks if Jeremiah can't go.
You want to talk about the defenses, honestly, in this game, with both offenses, highest scoring in the SEC since 2008, coming close to what Florida was able to do. What do you think it's been for both teams that they've been so successful?
You know, offensively, just for them, I mean, their quarterback was the player of the year last year in the SEC. Calvin Ridley, I'm very impressed with. He's one of the better, you know, receivers, you know, in all of football. And then the running backs, they got a slew of them that are very talented and got a lot of guys back. You know, as far as us goes, you know, I think you've seen us grow into who we are, and a new coordinator coming in and providing balance and some new ideas. And I think our quarterback, I think you see a quarterback that's playing better, playing very efficient, spreading the ball around. And I think you see a running back that's playing, you know, probably as good as anybody in the country right now.
Gus, your defense has done a good job of playing within the system.
Yeah.
How important is that against a guy like Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, probably the scariest thing is when things break down. I mean, he just takes off, and, you know, he's like a running back. And so you got to stay in your gap. You got to gain tackle. You know, you got to keep him contained.
Yes, sir. This is just a philosophical hypothetical.
Uh-oh.
If you lose to,
Look
if
at
you
him.
lose to Alabama, is it a success?
I'm not going there. I'm not going away. But right now, I mean, we're playing for the SEC West. We're gearing up for that. So I don't go hypotheticals past that. I mean, this is a huge game, probably as big a game as we had around here since 2013, and so that's what we're focused on.
Are the big games kind of like the performance of Jarrett in the big game against Georgia compared to against Clemson and LSU earlier big games? Is those kind of evidence of how much he's matured?
You look at the first of the year. I mean, I think everybody saw even our first game. I mean, you know, we needed experience as a group. We have a new coordinator trying to really figure out our identity. And, you know, somewhere along the line, game 4 or so, it started kind of clicking. And then, obviously, if you take away the second half, the LSU, I mean, I think we played phenomenal offense. And so I think it's just more of a experience type deal, growing, maturing, getting used to a new coordinator getting used to his players. And, you know, what Chip's done, too, I think he's done a super job of getting the ball to our players with what they do best. and really playing to their strengths. And so it takes a while from a coordinator standpoint to figure out exactly the strengths of each player, because you go through practice, you get some information. But you go in games, that's when you find out for real. So what you've seen is Chip kind of build around his strengths of his players and play to their strengths. And so I think it's kind of a combination of all that that got us to this point.
You feel like you figured out your issues that you had on kickoff coverage?
We're better than we were a few weeks ago. We need to continue to improve. Obviously, that's been, a problem area. We have focused on it. We've coached it differently. We focused on it more. We do have a few personnel changes. To answer your question, yes, we are better in that area.
What about Aiden Marshall? He's been kind of hot and cold at times.
He's a young guy. A&M, he played as good as you can play against the best returner. And so, the fact that he did that on the road, with all the stress that went with that, he's capable of really doing a super job. And, he's still a freshman. And but I think he's done a solid job. Now, we'll need him to play well. The field position, like with their punter, he's as good as it gets. He's a huge weapon. They have very few return yards, and he'll kick it 50 plus, and puts great hang time on it too.
In the game against Georgia, your players came out with very loose stance on the sideline from beginning to end. Do you want that same type of atmosphere on the sideline with your guys?
We need to be loose. We play our best when we're loose, and our coaching staff needs to be loose. I need to be loose, and I'm going to. And, I'm real proud of our team getting us to this point. They've earned that, and I want them to enjoy it.